What's up, you guys? So today I decided to create my very first Halloween inspired look, and this is none other than Scratched Belle. If you want to see how I got this look, just keep watching. What's up, you guys? So today we're going to be creating Princess Belle's look. So to start, we're going to start with scar wax, which is to me the devil. I hate it so much, but it looks so much more realistic than the liquid latex itself. But I just roll it into like a little worm shape, and then I'll put it against my face and kind of like pat it into my skin with my fingers. This is really sticky and really difficult to work with, but I find it's the most realistic looking out of all the things that I've tried so far. But I just kind of like squish it out onto my skin, but you'll start to see as you like mess with it more and kind of like get it to stick better and blend into your skin, it'll look more like a scar and look super realistic. I got the skin colored one, but I'll still go over it with foundation, and I just do it the same step over and over again. Just roll it into like a little worm shape, and then I'll just keep blending it out with my finger. This was my first time working with scar wax, so it was very complicated and very difficult, but yeah, trial and error, guys. I actually felt really proud of how it all looks. So yeah, I'm gonna do the last scar, and then I'll tell you guys what I do next. So before I played with scar wax, I was playing with liquid latex, and I liked what it looked like by itself, but it was really difficult to get the scar look with liquid latex alone. So I just placed some flesh colored liquid latex over top of the scar wax just to make it look more scarry and more gory. It also does help keep the scar wax in place and doesn't move it around. Liquid latex is literally so hard to mess with. Like, I found that patting it just makes it more easier, but if you keep like moving it around, it's just gonna crumble and look so bad. So I just found that it was easier to just pat it with my finger and just apply a little bit of it, not too much, because I also did a mistake when I was playing around with it of putting too much, and it just looked so bad. But yeah, I'm just gonna place this on my skin and let it dry. I'll move on to the rest of my face, and then I'll go back to this once this is nice and dry. So to start, we're going to start with our eyes, and we're going to use the e.l.f. HD Concealer in Fair as a primer so that our eyeshadows adhere better. And I'm just going to blend it out with my finger because I find it easier to blend with my finger. And then I'm going to take the Lauralee Nude Patootie palette, and I'm going to take the shade Reveal and place this on my crease and kind of blow it out towards my brow bone a little bit. This is going to be the only transition shade that we're really going to use. This is going to be a really simple look because Belle doesn't really wear anything dramatic, but yeah, I wanted to keep it nice and cute and simple. So next we're going to take Uncover in the same palette, and I'm going to use this all over the eyelid. And this is just going to be the only two eyeshadows that we're going to use on our eyes. Without adding any more eyeshadows, I'm just going to take the brushes that I use for these two shades, and I'm just going to go back and forth just to make sure I get a nice seamless blend. Taking the Wet n Wild Mega Liner in Black Noir, I'm just going to create a really thin and subtle wing I'm talking about almost barely a wing, okay? But you know, her eyes are very simple, like I said, so I didn't want to overdo it with a crazy liner. And yeah, you're not supposed to tug your eyes like that, but there's just always one eye that's just more difficult to do. And when you finally think that you've gotten kind of similar looks, we're gonna move on to curling the lashes. So I'm gonna curl my lashes to prep them for some mascara. And for mascara, I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara in Carbon Black. And I'm just gonna apply this to my lashes in a thin coat. And now moving on to falsies, I'm taking the Ioni lashes and the Ioni lash glue. This is a pack that I found at Burlington. And yeah, I'm just gonna take the simplest pair and apply it with some tweezers. Moving on to our face, we're gonna take the e.l.f. poreless primer, and I'm just gonna apply this anywhere I feel porous, or anywhere I feel like my pores need to be filled, which is my chin area and nose areas. Then we're gonna be moving on to color correcting. I'm taking the LA Colors color corrector in green and peach. I put the green anywhere I had any pimples or redness, and I'm just gonna blend with my finger. I find that blending with my finger is so much more easier with cream products, and it's just much more faster for me. So a lot of people don't know this, but if you don't set your color corrector before applying your foundation, it will seep through your foundation. I've had that happen to me a lot of times. So I take the coconut powder by Ciate, the everyday vacay translucent powder, and I'll set that color corrector and also apply this over top of my scars, just so it doesn't look really shiny. Next, I'm going to take the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation in light beige, and I'm just going to apply a layer of this to my face and over top of my scars as well, so that it all blends and has the same skin tone. Contour, we're going to use the LA Colors contour stick in medium, and I'm just going to carve out my cheekbones and give myself a really snatched nose. Belle has a really tiny cartoonesque nose. I'm probably never going to achieve that kind of nose, but I wanted it to be as small as possible, so I really applied a lot on my nose. And I'm just going to take the back of the beauty blender, the bottom, and I'm just going to blend it into my skin, not really dragging it, because I find that if I drag it, I disturb the foundation. And a little tiny bit over top of the scars, just so that our face does not look uneven. And then to blend my nose contour, I like to blend it with my finger again, because it's just really easy for me to get into those tiny places and just make sure that it's really nice and seamless. Then I take the back of the beauty blender again to go over any creases or anything that I might have gone over. Taking the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, the hydrating one, I'm in the shade Fair Warm. I'm just going to apply this under my eyes, a little bit on my nose, and my mustache area, my chin area, just anywhere the light hits. And yeah, I'm just going to blend it out with my beauty blender. Taking the Ciate setting powder I used earlier, I'm going to set lightly with the beauty blender underneath my eyes and kind of bake my nose area, because I want my nose to be really, really small and accentuated. And I'm going to take the beauty blender and set anywhere my face creases, and then I'll take a big brush and set my whole face. Taking the Anastasia contour kit, I'm going to set anywhere I cream contoured. This is in the shade medium, and I laugh because every time I keep telling myself I'm gonna get a new one and I keep forgetting to get it, but I just pretty much set anywhere I cream contoured, and then with a big fluffy brush I kind of blend it all out. Taking the e.l.f. Blush in lychee, I'm just going to place some over top of the contour really high, and I'm gonna like kind of overdo it because princesses have such a cute flush face and I want to give myself that look. So taking the James Charles palette, I'm gonna take the shade Escape, Love That, and Single. I'm gonna go in between those shades with a L20 brush by Laura Lee Cosmetics, and I'm just going to really create the dimension and the depth on the scars. I just really want to give it a bruised moment, so I just go over the creases to this, kind of making it more realistic looking. So that's just what I do basically. I go with this brush in between the lines. I really didn't know what I was doing, honestly. I was hoping for the best, hoping it turned out good, but as you can see, it's uploaded, so I guess it turned out better than I expected. But I really liked how the brush just let me get into those spaces that were hard to get into. Taking the shade You're Kidding with that same brush, I'm just gonna go over again with the pencil brush in the creases, just deepening up the crease, making some dimension. You want to make this look as realistic as possible, so take your time. Something I wish I would have done was added a bit of yellow to this look, because yellow kind of does look kind of like bruisey-ish, but I didn't think about it at the time. But if you guys want to add some yellow to add some more dimension, you can definitely do that as well. Taking the shade Spooky, I'm just going to again intensify the look, and then I take a concealer brush and kind of try to clean it up, but then I do it again, and then on top of the concealer I use the shade You're Kidding, and I just go back and forth, just making sure I blend seamlessly. Again, I was experimenting, so I really didn't know, what to do, but I just knew that the scars did need to look more realistic and more shading to them so that they have more dimension. That's all I'm doing, is just going between brushes and going back and forth between shades. Take your time, make sure that it looks as realistic as possible. As you can see, I was impressed myself. This is kind of cool. So then I take the back of the tweezers, which is more of the pointier side, and I just kind of create the scar. I kind of cut it open and just leave the skin exposed for now, but that's all you want to do, is just like kind of create that cut look. Honestly, for being a first timer using scar wax and liquid latex, I'm kind of impressed. I take Spooky again with another brush and I shade in the exposed skin part, just so that again it has more dimension to it, because when you apply the fake blood over top just plain, I've noticed that it doesn't look as realistic. You kind of have to darken it up. And then I take You're Kidding again with the same brush and I just go back and forth between to intensify the cut. Taking my e.l.f. lip liner, I'm going to just line my lips, and then I'll fill it in with the Revlon Hyper Lip Mousse in Death Valley, which is my favorite, and I've stayed away from it for a while because I overuse it so much. But today it kind of called for the occasion because I wanted some nice soft nude pink lips. Taking my LA Colors Bright White eyeliner, I'm just gonna place this on my waterline to give myself a more open eye and bigger eye effect. White eyeliner always gives you kind of like doll-like eyes. So then I take my mascara and then I just place a coat on my lower lashes. To make sure that this all stays in place, I'm going to take my Studio Series matte setting spray and set my face, avoiding the scars. Taking the LA Colors highlight in Champagne, I'm just going to highlight anywhere I usually highlight, and with my finger I'll highlight my nose and my inner corners because I want it to be more precise. And then we're finally going to move on to the best part ever, which is applying the fake blood. I found this stippling sponge at my local Spirit Halloween store. All my products were from that, the ones that I used to make the scars, and I just kind of stipple the blood on, and it starts to look really realistic after you start doing this step. And I was kind of shocked at how cool and how crazy real this looked already. Does it look good?
It's good, but for a beast, that looks like you gotta do longer stretches.
Next time.
It's cool. It looks good though.
I've always said that my husband is my best critic because he will definitely let me know if something doesn't look right, and I trust his judgment so much. And then I take a eyebrow brush and I kind of dip it into the blood and kind of droop it, just so that the blood drips down in a natural way. I kind of tilt the brush upwards so that all the product can just fall down, because it's such a loose product, so kind of like really watery, so you have to kind of be careful. But I really liked how the drops made it look just so realistic and so gory. It looked amazing. I actually felt really proud of this look, and I think the fake blood is something that definitely does make a difference in these kinds of looks. It just kind of gives it so much more realistic vibes. And then I kind of take that blood and apply it all over my hand. Later on I'll apply it to both of my hands, but I kind of dip my fingers in there just to give me the illusion that my hand has some of the blood too. So yeah, this is everything. This is my whole look, you guys. How do you guys feel? I'm so obsessed with how everything turned out. I'm obsessed. I'm so happy with it. I hope you all love it. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. If you haven't followed me on my social media platforms, please follow me. And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for entering the giveaway and for all the love and support you guys give me. And yeah, you guys, that's everything. I will see you guys in the next one.